Ruth Langsford hints she would consider this morning comeback on one condition. Ruth Langsford has revealed that she would be open to returning to This Morning, but there's one co-star in particular who would make her decision a lot easier. Ruth Langsford, 65, has insisted that This Morning bosses only have to ask if they want her back on the ITV daytime program. The presenter previously hosted the show alongside her former husband, Eamonn Holmes, 65, on Fridays, before they were succeeded by Alison Hammond, 50, and Dermot O'Leary, 52, in 2020. Nevertheless, the Loose Women host has now suggested that one particular co-presenter would be crucial to her decision should she ever contemplate a This Morning return. Ruth, who confirmed her marriage breakdown from former This Morning colleague Eamonn last year, disclosed she would be delighted to work alongside co-star and mate Rylan Clark, 36, once more. This week, Rylan has been presenting the ITV program with Josie Gibson, 40, who made her own comeback after stepping away to front a solo program on Channel 5. Ruth and Rylan co-hosted This Morning together during the summer of 2022, following Eamonn's exit from the ITV program for his GB News position, with the mother of one lovingly calling the former X Factor personality her TV son. When asked about whether she would make a This Morning comeback, Ruth told the Mirror, "If they'd have me, they only have to ask, especially with Rylan." Praising him warmly, Ruth fondly continued, "I love Rylan. He's like my son, really. We adore each other, and we've worked together before, so who knows?" The broadcaster continued by expressing that even if they don't get back together on the This Morning sofa, she'd be thrilled to collaborate with Rylan again on a different television venture. Ruth disclosed, "We might work together, it might not be This Morning, we might do something outside of that." This follows Ruth being spotted enjoying a night out in London with friends Rylan and Lizzie Cundy earlier this year, following her separation from estranged husband Eamonn. The presenter was captured singing along to Montel Jordan's classic 1995 track, "This Is How We Do It," with the footage appearing on Rylan's Instagram stories at the time. BBC Radio 2 presenter Rylan captioned the entertaining post, "Saucy Mare," whilst Ruth then posted her own clip of Rylan displaying his dance moves to Shakira's hit, "Hips Don't Lie." Announcing the celebrity couple's separation after 14 years of marriage in May 2024, their representative stated, "Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes have confirmed their marriage is over and they are in the process of divorcing." Ruth Langsford hints at This Morning return with co-star admitting, "We adore each other." Exclusive. Ruth Langsford has revealed she would consider making a comeback to This Morning on one condition, after leaving a regular role on the ITV show alongside estranged husband Eamonn Holmes. Ruth Langsford, 65, has said This Morning bosses only have to ask if they want her to return to the ITV daytime show. The star previously fronted the program alongside her ex, Eamonn Holmes, 65, on Fridays, until the pair were replaced by Alison Hammond, 50, and Dermot O'Leary, 52, back in 2020. However, the Loose Women presenter has now hinted that one co-host in particular would be a key part of her decision if she ever considered a This Morning comeback. In an exclusive interview, Ruth, who announced her marriage split from former This Morning co-presenter Eamonn last year, revealed she would love to work with co-star and friend Rylan Clark, 36, again. Meanwhile, Rylan has been hosting the ITV show with Josie Gibson, 40, who made her own return after taking time off to present a solo series on Channel 5. Ruth and Rylan hosted This Morning together for a period in the summer of 2022, after Eamonn departed the ITV show for his GB News role, with the mum of one affectionately branding the former X Factor star her TV son. When quizzed on whether she would return to This Morning, Ruth replied, "If they'd have me, they only have to ask, especially with Rylan." Singing his praises, Ruth sweetly added, "I love Rylan. He's like my son, really. We adore each other, and we've worked together before, so who knows?" The presenter went on to share that even if they don't reunite on the This Morning sofa, she'd love to team up with Rylan again on another TV project. Ruth divulged, "We might work together, it might not be This Morning, we might do something outside of that." It comes after Ruth was pictured having fun on a night out in London with pals Rylan and Lizzie Cundy earlier this year, in the aftermath of her split from estranged husband Eamonn. The star was filmed singing along to Montel Jordan's hit 1995 song, "This Is How We Do It," with the clip being shared on Rylan's Instagram stories at the time. BBC Radio 2 host Rylan captioned the fun update, "Saucy Mare," before Ruth shared her own video of Rylan showing off his dance moves to Shakira's song, "Hips Don't Lie." Revealing news of the famous couple's split after 14 years of marriage in May 2024, their spokesperson said. Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes have confirmed their marriage is over and they are in the process of divorcing. Ruth Langsford teases this morning comeback, on one condition. The television presenter, 65, revealed that she would be open to returning as a host on the show, but said there was one condition that could sway her decision. Ruth Langsford has revealed that she would be up for returning to This Morning as a presenter, as long as one condition was fulfilled. Ruth, 65, said that the show's bosses only have to ask if they wanted her to come back on the ITV program. She previously hosted This Morning along with her ex, Eamonn Holmes, on Fridays before the pair were replaced in 2020 by Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary. Ruth told the Mirror, "If they'd have me, they'd only have to ask, especially with Rylan." Ruth and Rylan Clark worked together on the show over the summer of 2022, after Eamonn left for his new job at GB News. Ruth affectionately called Rylan, 36, her TV son, and said she adores him. The presenter continued on to say, "I love Rylan. He's like my son, really. We adore each other, and we've worked together before, so who knows." She even said that if returning to host This Morning together wasn't a possibility, she would love to work with him on another project. Ruth explained, "We might work together, it might not be This Morning, we might do something outside of that." In May last year, a spokesperson for Ruth and Eamonn confirmed that they had split after 14 years of marriage, in a statement that read, "Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes have confirmed their marriage is over and they are in the process of divorcing." Ruth first appeared on This Morning in 2000 as a guest presenter before becoming a regular in 2006, co-hosting alongside Philip Schofield. Ruth later co-hosted with Eamonn, and the pair worked together on several other projects including Gift Wrapped, How the Other Half Lives, and Do the Right Thing. They also presented Eamonn and Ruth's 7-year itch in 2017. In January this year, Ruth and Rylan shared videos from a night on the town together. In one clip posted online by Rylan, Ruth can be seen singing along to the 1995 hit This Is How We Do It. Rylan added the caption, "Saucy Mare." Rylan later shared a snap from his night with Ruth, TV personality Lizzie Cundy and his cousin, Kimberly Morgan. He captioned it, "Best night with the best girls." Ruth reposted the post on her own account and added a message which read, "Love you son," with a red heart emoji. Rylan has previously referred to Ruth and her ex-husband as his TV mum and dad. Ruth Langsford teases This Morning comeback, "They only have to ask." Ruth hasn't hosted the show since 2022. TV star Ruth Langsford has admitted she wouldn't rule out returning to This Morning in a new interview. The 65-year-old presenter, who is currently a regular panelist on Loose Women, used to front the daytime TV show alongside her ex-husband Eamonn Holmes on Fridays. However, the pair were suddenly replaced by Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary in 2020. While Ruth has remained a regular face on ITV, she hasn't been seen presenting This Morning since 2022. Eamonn, who she split from last year, ditched ITV altogether and has been presenting his own breakfast show on GB News since 2022. While Eamonn's This Morning return appears unlikely, Ruth seems to be manifesting her own comeback. Ruth Langsford teases This Morning return. While speaking to the Mirror, Ruth said she would return, especially if she were to host alongside her TV son, Rylan Clark. "If they'd have me, they only have to ask, especially with Rylan." She said, "I love Rylan, he's like my son, really. We adore each other, and we've worked together before, so who knows." Ruth added. However, even if the pair do not reunite on the show, Ruth is still keen to work with Rylan on another project. "We might work together, it might not be This Morning, we might do something outside of that," she teased. In a 2023 interview with Woman and Home, Ruth said ITV hadn't asked her to return to This Morning. "I love This Morning but reports that ITV have recently asked me back aren't true. I laughed when I saw that report, I have no idea where these things come from. It's like when people write a nasty comment on my Instagram, I find it amusing," she said. However, within the magazine's December issue of that year, Ruth said she would still consider it. "If they asked me, I would certainly consider it. I did a week with Rylan last year and I wasn't torn because of Eamonn's situation turning his back on ITV. Eamonn has left ITV, it's done and dusted," she explained. "He's got another job, which he loves. Also, I don't have to ask Eamonn's permission to do anything, or for him me, so if ITV said, 'Would you come and do a week on This Morning?' And if I was free and it was with the right person, I probably would do it."